Good morning on this Tuesday, 22nd of July 2025. Now, I've attended Glastonbury many times. Not literally, but from the comfort of my armchair and the TV. And that was when Glastonbury was still worth watching. And the only thing worth watching on this year's Glastonbury was, as you know, Bob Vylan, the only one that stood out. Yeah. Now, this group I'm featuring today is Arcade Fire. And I must confess, it's the most talented band I've ever seen. All of them are multi-talented musicians, and they're a Canadian indie rock band with Win Butler and his wife Regine Chazan. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I chose this song particularly because its title is Wake Up. And that is what we all need to do, in my humble opinion. Now, how can I say this without appearing to be a nutcase? I can't. So I'm going to say it anyway, and at the risk of being banned here for the second time. This, of course, is just my opinion. But having said that, it's the opinion of millions of people throughout the world. In my humble opinion, and many others, there were no mystery melody in 2020. It was made up from computer modelling and mass hysteria, aided by a media frenzy. And the computer modelling came from the same professor that brought us the culling of millions and millions of cattle under the pretext of foot and mouth outbreak in 2001. The year when it all started to go mad under the Blair regime. And that man is responsible for so much, should be in prison. And just exactly the same, there are no weather differences from what we've had in the last few thousand years. And considering that the serious records only began less than 100 years ago. Yes, of course there are wild weather events, but they are the exception rather than the rule and happen randomly. But the climate change pushers make the most of them all the time, with the legacy media blowing smoke up their arse. And once again, in my opinion, that we humans on this world we could just be a nasty case of fleas. And one day we will be brushed aside and the world as we know it will save itself. Just my opinion, but there you go. I am allowed to have an opinion. Or doesn't the government realise that? Oh no, they don't. They want to imprison people like me. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.